Would the ultimate Nazi puncher, Indiana Jones, would he support these people doing the punching?
He'd push them out of the way to get in the first punch. As well he should.
Yeah.
That was a black and white world. And this evil presented itself to the world.
I honestly didn't know which way Harrison Ford was gonna go with that. Asked if Indiana Jones these days would punch a Nazi, but he did not hold back. He held back as little as Indiana Jones would, presented with a modern day Nazi. He would push to get to the front of the line. He'd knock down their tiki torch and he'd punch them in the face. Interestingly, I hadn't known how long standing a meme Indiana Jones punching a Nazi in the face has been. You can see a photo of it here from the meme generator. And he's not backing down. He has occasionally spoken out on politics. This seems consistent with what he said before. I know that this is like a highly controversial thing and I'm not weighing in, so I can't be sued. But Harrison Ford says that Indiana Jones would punch a Nazi. Jayar, what do you think?
I see your caution here, John, and now it leads me to the same cautious approach, but it actually is the same. Follow your heart. I mean, some people maybe you don't want to. Maybe some people do, and you have to understand the consequences, be it legal or continued fight or any of that type of stuff later. But we've seen it happen on camera. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but it happened on camera and the guy took off and he was celebrated widely. And that could lead to other kinds of violence. We understand the consequences of it, even just if it's not towards the person who maybe carries out that particular punch. But then again, we've got Nazis hanging out at perfectly peaceful, normal events with weapons, with violent rhetoric, with threats, with hateful signs and flags, and attempts on people's lives. We've had people directly go in and shoot and kill people because of who they are, and they associate themselves with white nationalists and Nazi parties and all that type of stuff too.
Yeah.
So as we're going through the moral process of whether or not someone should punch a Nazi or not, how much do right-wing circles talk about whether or not Nazis should be out there doing the things that they do?
That's true.
They don't have those conversations. Why aren't they very cautious about that? Why isn't Ron DeSantis talking about the Nazis that are outside of Disney World with his face on some flags and posters to how much they celebrate him? And every time they're out in front of a Jewish synagogue, harassing and threatening people. When is he gonna answer these questions?
Never, I think. I don't think they mind the Nazis. I don't think that these rich Republican elites want to personally ever have to deal with these, shaven-headed weirdos or whatever. But they don't mind them being out there if they think that it'll intimidate the other side, help them accomplish their goals or whatever. People are pointing out, like someone should ask Chris Evans if Captain America would still punch a Nazi. I don't think Chris Evans would hesitate to say yes. And also, just imagine like asking like a right winger, do you think it's okay to punch a Nazi? Like a notable right winger, how defensive they'll get. Well, but I mean, what's a Nazi? Are they really one? Like,
I'd love to hear that question and answer.
They reveal themselves so much because they don't actually mind.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.